recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You're like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Erin.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zakia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes a pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan. I am here today with Erin Barkley. Hello, Erin.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello. We have some great guests today. We're going to have what I believe is going to be possibly a high-scoring game, or if it's not, then at least an extremely hard game. First up with us today is Lisa Wolfisch. Hello, Lisa.
Hey, Jonathan. Hey, everyone.
It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks. You all too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Also today, Jake Tomlin's with us. Hello, Jake.
Hey, Jonathan. How's it going?
Doing great. It is good to have you, my friend.
Thanks. Appreciate being here.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Drew Grant is with us. Hello, Drew.
Good morning, Jonathan. Glad to be here.
Good morning, sir. I'm loving the beard. You look fantastic.
Thanks. It's been my my cancer beard.
Ah, I see.
So you may remember. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, on the plus side, you look good. All right, guys. Now, I want to get to know each of you a little bit better. So, Lisa, let's start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hey, everyone. I am in the Washington, D.C. area, and it still feels a little strange to say this, but I am a retired Fed. So what do? I sleep in. I read a lot. I try to figure out what's coming next. I travel. I visit friends. Kind of getting used to not setting that alarm, not having meetings.
Nice.
So I guess that's also fun.
I'm only this jealous. Only this jealous. From sea to shining sea jealous.
I will say it is definitely an adjustment having all your time to yourself.
Yeah.
Like I said, no meetings, no 3 a.m. stress. I am stress waking and brain churn and all that. Yeah.
All right. And that was your answer to what you do now, but what's something fun about yourself?
So fun, like I said, I'm really being able to do a lot of travel, planning some trips. As I've said, when I've been on before, I love hooking up with warheads when I travel, and I will attempt to do that in the coming year.
That's awesome. I love it when people are traveling around and they say they're coming through Jacksonville, and lots of us will try and make it a point to go out and at least like get to a trivia game together. So that's really awesome. I hope to hear or hope to see pictures of your travels on the road.
Yeah, I think I'll have to do some more, where am I posts. I haven't done those in a while.
Yeah, those would be great. All right. Well, we're glad you're here, Lisa. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
All right, Jake, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia. I am a middle school teacher. I teach civics and economics to a bunch of 8th graders who do not want to learn civics and economics. So it's a great time. It's every day. Anyway, something about me. I like to run a lot. Usually that's when I listen to this podcast is on my runs. When I was in high school, I was on the cross country team, and we were supposed to run 4 miles. And as our, reward, we were going to go to Dairy Queen and get some ice cream. And I pulled out my shoes and realized they were double knotted and couldn't get them undone. And the team decided to take off without me. So instead of taking the 2 minutes to untie them, I just decided to run barefoot on the concrete for 4 miles. And
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a fun story in the fact that I could tell it, but it's absolutely awful. I would never do it again. It's like Kip Kano.
What did your hamburgers look like after you walked on them for the 4 miles or ran on them?
Well, I won't go into too much detail. By mile 1, there was a more than enough blood, though.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That is intense. And so my wife, Sarah, loves barefooting. She loves being in the woods or on grass or on sand, and she's always ready to take her shoes off. And she'll walk on concrete, and I just don't understand how it is that she likes it so much. My feet hurt so bad whenever I try and do anything like what she's doing. So I think every person has a little bit of a different tolerance, but the fact that you even tried it, kudos to you.
It's not a story that I take lightly. I regret it very much.
All right. Well, Jake, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Drew, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hey, Jonathan. My name is Drew Grant. I currently reside in Boise, Idaho. I am a corporate team leader for, still a corporate team leader for I used to say a Western restaurant chain, but we're expanding east. So, and let's see. Well, something fun about myself. This isn't something fun about me currently, but my friend Amar, who I was very close friends with through childhood and high school, sent me a blast from the past, something I hadn't seen in a long time. And it was a flyer for our small business that we had when we were in middle school and high school. It was called Two Guys and a Lawnmower. And by the time we graduated high school, we had 24 employees or 25. And all I'll say is upper class suburbia is a very good place to have a lawn mowing business.
Oh my God, yes. Man, that sounds like you were running a full-on business at that point.
Yeah, just somewhat disorganized, but yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. When you're a high schooler, if you can do that, you're learning a lot of life lessons right there. All right. Well, Drew, it is great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So, guys, we are going to get started right now with a game that is sweeping the nation. I saw it get its broom out and start down the road. I'm sure it'll take a while, but eventually it will sweep the whole nation. It is called Warm It Up, Chris, and Erin is going to lead us through it.
Yay.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
This one might be a little weird. So when I saw that Hulk Hogan died last week, I immediately went, there's got to be a Warm It Up, Chris I can do somewhere in there. And say what you will about the man, and many people do, he was a key part of a lot of people's childhoods. So we're going to go deep into WWE history.
Whoa.
I have 2 lists here because I could only find these top 10s. So we're going to start with one, and if we're not warm by the time we get through these 10, we'll go to the other. All right. I have a list here of the most WWE title reigns. So the most championships won by WWE wrestlers. As far as I can tell, this list was correct as of last week. CNN posted it in response to Hulk Hogan's passing. So,
Erin, can I ask a quick question about it?
You sure can.
I can't promise that you'll be able to answer, but it is worth asking.
Yep.
Does this include all championships by people who have worked for the WWE at some point, or are they specifically championships within the WWE? And then the second question is it which championships are we talking about? Because there are multiple.
World championships.
Okay.
And that is
so not,
the information.
Not WWE champion, the World Championship, which are 2 different things.
Correct. And I am not a WWE fan, so I am back checking myself. Yeah, World Championships. And I will tell you that the person with the most wins in this list has 17 wins. I don't know if that helps bring it into focus for you a little better.
Sounds good.
Yes?
We'll kind of understand it as we go.
Yeah, and I'll learn something too. So we are going to go in the order you guys are on my screen. So Lisa, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, I don't know wrestlers, so I'm just going to throw out a name, and I'm going to say Randy Savage.
Randy Savage is not in the top 10.
It's a good guess, though.
It was a great guess. And actually, every article I saw that had this top 10 list is like, yeah, Randy Savage, you'd think he's on there, but he's not. Jake?
So I don't know diddly squat about I don't even know like people in WWE, past or present. Chris Benoit is a name that I know did something. So let's go with Chris Benoit.
He did do something, but he did not win the top 10 most world championships. But he was a wrestler.
He also did the something you remember him doing is extremely terrible.
No, I know that part, but I couldn't remember where he kind of fell in line.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He's apparently known for that other thing and not for the wrestling. Okay. Drew?
I mean, I watched a lot of wrestling when I was a kid, but it's been a while. I don't know if anybody new school has won enough to make the list, but I figure probably Triple H has. So I'm going to go with Triple H.
Triple H number 3 on the list with 14 wins. Nice job. Jonathan?
Are we allowed to say Hulk Hogan?
You are allowed to say Hulk Hogan. He's number 5 with 12.
I figured he'd be on the list.
Yeah. That's why CNN ran it. Lisa, we're back to you.
Oh, awesome. Probably not on the list, but I'll say The Rock.
The Rock is number 8 on the list with 10 wins.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yay. All right. Jake?
Andre the Giant?
Andre the Giant, not on the list.
One of the things, just as a thought process for the non-wrestling folks who are trying to guess, in the early days, people would hold the championships forever, like a year at a time, year and a half at a time, so it didn't switch very much. And so the heyday of a lot of swapping is going to start around the 80s and then roll into the 2010s.
Correct. Good intel. That's my other list, by the way, is longest title reigns. Drew, you're up.
Thanks for the hint, Jonathan.
Yep.
If I'm going to go with wrestlers from that time, I've got a few. Randy Orton. I don't know if that's a bad answer.
It's not a bad
Really?
answer.
It's not a great answer. It's not on the list.
Is Randy Orton Jr. there? Because
no.
Just as a check. Okay. I thought that would have been right,
it
Drew.
is. No, sorry, he is. He's number 14. I just lost the ability to read for a minute. Sorry. Randy Orton, 14. Wow. Right between Triple H and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. So he's number 4 on the list then, right?
Yeah. Gonna be a long day, folks. Sorry.
Okay.
Jonathan,
yeah, Drew, you said it, and I was like, that's a great answer. And she's like, no. I'm like, really?
No, I'm sorry.
All right, whose turn now? Me.
You.
The person with 17 is almost certainly John Cena.
It is, in fact, John Cena, who seems like a genuinely good dude.
He is.
Lisa, we've got 5 more on this list.
So Jonathan took the only other answer I had, so I am going to pass.
Okay. Jake?
You don't want to guess a last name?
Is there a Johnson?
There's not a Johnson, unfortunately.
I mean,
you never know.
There is, but not on the list.
Well, yes, there's always a Johnson. Jake?
Jonathan, I appreciate your hints. They didn't really help me, but I'd have a better time with rocket surgery. But let's go with the Iron Sheik. He did something.
He did do something. He did not win more than 10 WWE World Championships.
Fair enough.
That is the cutoff number, by the way. Drew?
Yeah, I'm kind of out too of like guesses that I think might be plausible. Did you limit it to men?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go with my brother's favorite wrestler, Edge. He's big, right?
Number 6.
Good job.
Yep, number 6 with
bigger than I
11
thought.
wins. Yeah. Jonathan?
The biggest name during the hot swapping championships era of the late 90s and early 2000s would be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Steve Austin is not on the list, which I also thought was weird.
Wow.
Because that's a name that I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Blame CNN. All right, we'll
It's
go around one
probably
more.
just a case of different championships where there's different belts.
Yep. Scott knows all about that. Lisa, we're back to you.
Yeah, so I'm still just throwing out common names here.
Love it.
So let's try Smith.
There's no Smith, unless one of these guys is named Smith, but that's not their stage name. Sorry. Jake.
I'm trying to think because I know I wrote a quiz for one of the online trivias a while back about people with stage names, and there's a guy I'm thinking of that had like 3, but I can't remember any of the stage names or his name, so that's probably not the angle for me to take.
You're probably thinking of Mick Foley based on your description.
Yes,
You can
that is
guess
what I'm
that.
thinking of. Foley, then.
No, don't guess that. He ain't there.
Well, I ain't got a better guess. So.
It was a good guess.
Okay.
He's in the right era for this.
Yeah, for sure. Drew?
Has anyone said Shawn Michaels?
No one has said
Not
Shawn
yet.
Michaels.
Well, that's my
He ain't
answer.
there. Okay.
right.
Unfortunately, he is not there. Sorry. Jonathan, we're back to you. We got 4 more.
4 more. It's a challenging list because you guys are giving some good answers.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess The Undertaker.
Undertaker is not there.
I didn't think he was. There's certain huge names in wrestling that don't have to have the belt to be a big draw.
Yeah.
And some of the folks that we're naming are those people. They just didn't have to put a belt on them because the belt is used to try and elevate.
Yeah. They're just around. Okay. Would we like to go around again, or would we like to just know the answers?
I think you can share the answers with us. Do you want anybody have last guesses?
Yeah, last guesses.
I do have one more guess. My next guess was going to be Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar is number 7 with 10 wins.
Good job.
Yeah.
Is Roman Reigns or Eddie Guerrero on there?
No.
Okay.
But Roman Reigns is on the other list, the longest title reigns with 1,300. He's actually number 4. 1,316 and 735. He's in the top 10 twice. So I thought that was interesting.
What about, last second. What about Ric Flair? Or
Flair's number 2 with 16.
Yes, okay, so many?
That means that we have been talking about multi-promotion championships because Ric Flair did that over the course of NWA, WCW, and WWE.
Sorry.
That was the hidden piece of information I was looking for at the beginning.
The list, Sportskeeda and CNN agree this is the top 10 WWE world champions with the most reigns.
Yep.
I don't know what that means. Sorry. Does that prompt anything else from you guys?
No, who else is on the list?
So number 9 is Sting with 10. And number 10 is Vern Gagne, also with 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the longest.
Who's Vern Gagne?
Vern Gagne is an old wrestler who ended up being a wrestling trainer and trained a lot of the modern wrestlers. He never even fought in the WWE. He fought in the WWE or the WWF back before WWF existed.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
The longest reigns, the person on top with 2,883 days on top is Bruno Sammartino, followed by Bob Backlund, and Hulk Hogan comes in number 3 there with 1,474 days. So that was Warm It Up. Chris, how are we feeling, folks? Are we warm?
Sure.
We're warm.
Sure. Are we warm enough?
Room temp.
Okay. We'll take it.
I feel better that part of it's done. I don't suspect it coming up again.
We got through it. We're doing great. I'm happy to report that I went all the way back and found the original spreadsheet that Kit sent to me like 3 years ago. So there shouldn't be any issues. And if there are, we will just know that I am cursed. And this is just my life. So
it's your life. It's now or never.
Hello, it is your friendly neighborhood podcast editor, Joel Sharpton. Because Jonathan forgot to mention it, and it pays my bills, among others, this is episode 544, which means it's on the main feed. If you're not already a patron, there are hundreds of great episodes of Trivial Warfare waiting for you at trivialwarfare.com. Join the army as a major or higher and get a chance to come on the show yourself as a contestant. Now, bills paid, Jonathan. This is episode 544. The teams are Jake and Jonathan versus Drew and Lisa. Erin is hosting, and it's, hey, I have always wanted to say this, actually. It's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
As always, my first round are current events-ish for July of 2025, which is when this episode is being recorded. Yeah, I know, Jonathan. It's your favorite. Round
Best.
1, question 1. Category is you love to see it. In mid-July of 2025, what band posted a tweet announcing camera-free audience sections for fans and their side pieces?
All right. I think Jake and I are going to lock in.
Okay. Drew and Lisa?
Do you want to 3, 2, 1 this?
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
Coldplay.
Hey, you got one, Jonathan.
Yeah, even that's been so ubiquitous. You can't walk down the street without seeing these people.
The memes have been pretty great, I gotta
They've
say.
been awesome.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, category is capitalism. First introduced in 1984 as a gift for an actress, the value of what specific luxury item has increased 14.2% in value since then. The first one ever made is far more valuable than that. In July of 2025, it sold at auction for $10 million.
We'll lock in.
14.2% value since then is a very weird number, which means it's likely a clue.
It could be. I guess what I'm kind of trying to key in on is as a gift for an actress. I feel like whatever this is something that you would associate with a specific actress, maybe.
1984, you're looking at people like Bo Derek. You're looking at people like Farrah Fawcett, Meryl Streep.
Glenn Close.
Yeah, I don't know how to get there from that. The first one ever made is far more valuable than that. So it was introduced in 84 as a gift. So the first one was a gift to a specific actress, and that one is more valuable than the rest of them.
Right.
1984 was the year of the Big Apple ad. Madonna was getting big around then. Maybe a car, maybe a DeLorean. That's not a luxury item, though.
1 minute.
A purse, a necklace, a earrings, a shoes, a ring.
14.2. Is there someone associated with those numbers? Are we looking too much into that?
Man, I can't even... I'm so far away from luxury that I don't even know how to name luxury items. Like, I don't even know what this list might have on it.
Right. I'm a teacher. Trust me. I get it.
Is it a car?
I need an answer.
Okay. She needs an answer. Do you want to say it's the first pair of Louboutin red-bottom shoes?
I would love to say that because I have nothing I'm feeling strong to get for.
Okay, well, that's a luxury item. We're going to say a red-bottom Louboutins.
Right, they said red-bottom Louboutins. Lisa, you had this basically right away. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an advantage on this one, paying attention to these kinds of things or not. Let me start by saying I do not have one of these things. I am not on the wait list for one of these things, which there is a wait list. This, our answer, because this was up for auction a little while ago, and it's a very iconic piece of luxury fashion. I think the Louboutin shoes is great answer, but this is going to be the Birkin bag. I think of, I can't remember her first name. I think of her more as a model, but
Jane, I think is her first name, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess she was, of the past, and she recently died, which also made the value of her original Birkin bag, which I'm guessing she still had it. Birkin.
Jane Birkin is the name.
Birkin bag. Like if you watch.
Yeah, so it's Hermès. So Hermès is the actual, I don't know what you call them, house or whatever. But
yeah,
Jane Birkin was the actress or model who was gifted the first one.
And if you watched, many, many years ago, Sex and the City, Samantha was always hot to get on the waiting list for a Birkin bag. And she tried to use every connection she could to get a Birkin bag. And I think if you saw a picture of one of these, you would recognize it. It's sort of a bag for old over your elbow. So that's our answer.
That's a great answer. It's the correct answer. And you almost all of my color. It was created for a British actress entertainer named Jane Birkin. And the guy from Hermes, whose name I didn't write down, but he wanted to show that you can have a stylish bag. She was also a mother, and he wanted to show that you can have a stylish bag that does both. It is stylish and also functional. I would not recognize one of these if you hit me on the head with it, but because I Googled it, I'm like, it's purse. It's purse, but people spend their money however they want, and that's fine.
I've never heard of it, never seen it, never heard of the name of the actress. I was so far away from
interesting.
This. Never heard any of it.
I have heard of it, but I had no clue. Like, I didn't know based off any of it.
What was the one? I had the answer, but what was the one? Was the 14.2 a clue, like Jonathan thought?
No, it's just a fact. It is 14.2% more expensive than it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Round 1, question 3, Jonathan. We're almost out of the current events.
Woohoo!
Category is some good news. Thanks in part to efforts of Mayor Brandon Scott, what U.S. city only had 68 homicides in the first half of 2025, the lowest rate in 50 years, and down from 88 in 2024. In a city that can feel hardwired for violence, this is great news.
All right, we're locked.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's from my neck of the woods, or my original neck of the woods on the East Coast, and I learned this name in reference, I think, to the bridge collapse, but Brandon Scott is the mayor of Baltimore.
Yeah, and I live down the street from Baltimore, and it's been in the news a lot, and I love the clue about being hardwired. Of course, the famous show, The Wire, about the Baltimore civic infrastructure and police.
Yes. Jonathan and Jake, did you guys pick up on the clue?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Jonathan was with it. I've never heard the name Brandon Scott, but I know it's not New York's mayor, and I don't know what Chicago's is, which is where my mind went. But hardwired, when I hear The Wire, I think Baltimore instantly. So that's what we locked in with.
Yeah, I also saw an article about it, so I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah. It's really cool news. I cannot tell you guys how long I tried to do a play on words with the word Oriole, but then I got tired and decided The Wire is also associated with Baltimore. So we went with that. It is Baltimore.
You could say, or I'll do something.
Yeah, but like what? You know, it's...
I know. I don't know.
It's
a stretch.
Yeah, this worked much better. It was actually a sentence. After round 1, Jake and Jonathan have 20. Lisa and Drew have 30. Moving on to round 2. Category is disasters. In 1919, a vat of what substance ruptured in Boston and filled the streets at the rate of about 35 miles per hour, killing 21 and injuring approximately 150. The death toll was due to the substance being 40% more dense than water.
All right, we're locked in, Erin.
Okay, they're locked in. Lisa and Drew, y'all can talk it out.
So your most recent answer, Lisa, molasses, I think is correct. I was trying to think. I knew it was something like that, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know if it was sorghum, but it was Boston. So I figured. I figured it was my first thought, and it was molasses.
Yeah, I know it was, and I put in our chat like either molasses or maple syrup. I can't honestly, could go 50-50 on either. If molasses rung a bell with you over maple syrup, that's okay. I know I was watching something recently where this kind of played into it. I don't remember what it was. I know it was that sort of thing. So if they would be importing molasses in 1919 more so than maple syrup, I'd be comfortable going with that.
I mean, my initial thought is that they would have been doing that earlier, but what I don't, because it was more nationally produced. I don't know. Molasses is the first thing that came to mind. If you want to go with maple syrup, I'm not going to argue because it is in that category of things I was thinking about.
Yeah, this is where, oh geez, I hate for the coin to flip the wrong way for no reason. Let's see, the great molasses thing, the great maple syrup thing. Does the 40% more dense than water say anything to you?
I would think that maple syrup is not 40%. I would think it would be less than I don't think. I think we're looking for something thicker.
All right, I'm okay going with molasses.
Yeah, in the end, I think I am too.
Okay. All right, we'll lock in molasses.
Okay. Jake and Jonathan.
Well, Jake, that didn't feel good.
No, it did not.
No. So you had this. Why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
I don't know where I learned this. I think I read it online just somewhere several years ago. And I don't know why I felt like it had like a punny name, but that might be something I kind of conjured in my head to remember it. But yeah, I'm like 90% sure this is molasses. I would like to start coining it the Molassacre. Maybe that's a little too cruel. But...
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure this is molasses.
Yeah. I've been over here typing, trying to figure out how much more dense maple syrup is than water, and it gave me numbers that I didn't know what to do with. So I don't actually know how much more dense maple syrup is than water. Sorry, but it doesn't matter because your answer is molasses. Points all around.
Good job, everybody.
Nice.
Round 2, question 2. Category is a gathering place for jocks. In 1978, some endurance athletes argued about who was fitter, and the Ironman triathlon was created. The original bike course for the race was 115 miles around the perimeter of what island, which also hosted the championship until 1981, when it was moved to its current location.
Lisa, you good with that?
I am good with that.
Okay. Erin, we're locked in.
Okay, great. Jake and Jonathan, talk it out.
So, Jake, my first guess is Manhattan. I'm pretty sure it's an island and maybe around 115 miles in perimeter. Yeah. I mean, it seems maybe too small for that, but as a perimeter, I don't know.
My first thought, and I don't know if this is where it originated or where it's currently held. I, for some reason, associate the Ironman triathlon with Honolulu and being out in Hawaii. I feel like there's some type of big, like, ultra marathon type of race or something that takes place out there. That doesn't mean it's right. I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, the category is a gathering place for jocks. Why is that the category? I feel like there's something a little deeper than that, but I don't know if the name of the island would make you think of like a gym, or I don't know.
If you're thinking Hawaii, then it could be the Big Island, also called Hawaii, or it could be Oahu, or even something like Maui or Lanai. I like your instinct. If you have an instinct to say, hey, this makes you think of Hawaii, I think it would be smart to answer something that is a Hawaiian island.
Is Honolulu on the island of Hawaii? I think it is.
I think it's on Oahu.
Is it on Oahu?
I am not certain, though. But I think it's on Oahu, and the Big Island is more volcanoes and stuff. But I'm not a Hawaii smarty. I'm a Hawaii dummy.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like... I don't hate your guess of Manhattan. It definitely is an island. I don't know if it's 115 miles in its perimeter, but I guess I don't really know where to go. I personally, like, if I were by myself, I would probably say Hawaii and move on, but I'm not sure.
A gathering place for jocks. Gathering place. I wonder if the name of the island means gathering place or something like that.
It could.
Endurance athletes. Who is fitter? Ironman triathlon. It's late. It's 78. If you want to say a Hawaiian island, I would think probably Oahu more than Hawaii. And just because of the number of people, I might be way wrong, but I think that Oahu is the one that's highly populated and Hawaii is not. But I don't know that for sure.
The island of Hawaii is definitely bigger than Oahu, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. It's called the Big Island. That's how it's known.
Right. So 115 miles in perimeter, I could see that being Oahu more than the island of Hawaii. So possibly. I'd be okay with that. I might be leading us in the polar opposite side of the country, though. I have no clue.
It's all right. Let's say Oahu.
Okay, I'm down with Oahu.
All right, that's what we'll do.
Cool. Lisa and Drew, tell us about your answer. Drew, you knew this right away.
Talk about painful. Yeah, I mean, I know there weren't too many choices. New York City can't possibly be 115 miles around. But I did know that the first Ironman was on Oahu. And I think I even know I know the name of the first winner. Gordon Haller was the first winner of the Ironman. Thanks, Dad.
Okay. Manhattan is 32 miles around, which I just looked up. It's not that big. The big island, Hawaii, has a perimeter of 93 miles, but its area is bigger. But the Ironman Championship is held in, well, now it's held in Kona, but it was originally held on the island of Oahu, which means gathering place.
It does mean gathering place?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I didn't know that.
Hey, we managed to work our way into it. I'm happy.
Yeah, nicely done, guys. Nicely done.
That could work. All right. Question 3 category is the life of a pseudoscience. Although the process of trepanation has fallen out of favor in modern times, due largely to the fact that we don't believe you need to have evil spirits released from your skull anymore, the process still exists in some modern medical practices. It was also a method employed by number theorist Max Cohen to rid himself of hallucinations in what 1998 Aronofsky film.
Erin, I think Jonathan and I are going to lock in.
Okay. Jonathan, what do you think about that?
I am Jonathan.
Yeah. And Jake said, I think Jonathan and I are going to lock in. And he said, I think. So I'm just confirming with you.
I'm sorry. I held a thumbs up. I'm good. I also think that.
I love it. We're all thinking the same thing. Sorry, I'm thinking I got a cat in my lap and I'm distracted.
We've been having a fun chat, and I'm pretty sure this is Aronofsky, the movie Pi that came out quite some time ago. So the time would fit. Pi is kind of a mathy title. And I just, for everybody who enjoys Aronofsky films, that's great. Go watch them. I can't stand them for some reason. I don't know why. They just don't do anything for me. And I think it was all because of how much I did not like this one. Like, it kind of started me off on a bad footing with his movies. And, we went back and forth with some other things that Drew brought up and kind of just came back to Pi for right or wrong. Drew, did you want to throw anything else out there?
No, I just, I took us on a sidetrack, and I thought I was trying to think of the movie with the Jennifer Connelly and all the drug use and everything. And so I eventually, I spent like 3 minutes trying to get to Requiem for a Dream, only to realize that Lisa was right in the first place. And I had been thinking for no reason at all.
I did enjoy watching that. You're like, Requiem, the one with the drugs, Requiem. And I'm like, but you should just listen to your teammate. Jake and Jonathan, where'd you guys land?
Jake, this is all you.
So I heard of this movie. I think I tried going through Aronofsky films a few years ago, and the only ones that came to mind was Black Swan, which I know came out like probably 2009, maybe 2010, and then Requiem for a Dream, which I'm pretty sure was 2000. I can't remember any of the others, except I had a question in my local pub trivia about his first film, which is called Pi, which it's a number, and we have a number theorist. I don't know the plot of this movie at all, but I know it's a film that he did around that time period. So we locked in with Pi.
So I actually was first introduced to this movie by my Jewish mysticism professor in undergrad, because we were talking a lot about gematria and numerology and all that stuff in the Kabbalistic tradition. And our professor, who also would encourage us to smoke weed before we talked about Jewish mysticism, was like, y'all are going to come over to my house. We're going to watch this movie. And we're like, okay. So we all watched this very weird movie. As far as I can tell, it was just about a guy slowly losing his mind because he saw numbers everywhere until he drilled a hole in his head. And I honestly don't remember what happened next. Yeah. It is classic Aronofsky. He did also do Black Swan and The Whale, which I do want to see that. But anyway, I have digressed slightly. It is the Darren Aronofsky classic, Pi. The life of a pseudoscience in Pi.
The life of Pi.
There it is.
It was there the whole time.
It's definitely his most unapproachable film, but as his first.
which is I feel like saying something. I watched Requiem for a Dream on a date because I did not do my homework and didn't have any idea what the movie was about. So that was cool.
So to change my anti-Aronofsky stance, what should I watch?
Not Pi.
Any Rex?
I don't think you should.
Yeah.
I think your stance is right.
I listen, Lisa, if Pi isn't for you, if you had seen Requiem, I imagine it wouldn't be for you. The Whale could be. I'd say that's his most mainstream.
I loved The Whale. Didn't he have one with Jennifer Lawrence in it?
Yeah, Mother or Daughter or
Mother. Yes, I didn't see that one though.
It's really I didn't like it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, nice poll, Lisa. And you guys as well.
He's got a lot of movies. I'm on his IMDb page, and I'll come back to that after I tell you the score after 2 rounds is Jake and Jonathan with 50, Lisa and Drew with 60. Exciting stuff. Round 3, question 1. Category is science.
Science!
There we go.
Science!
Where are y'all? Come on.
I'm here.
In the early 1950s, an amateur archaeologist proposed that shipwrecks in what semi-enclosed inland sea may be well preserved, as the cold brackish waters prevent shipworms from eating the wood. The Vasa, a royal ship which sank on its maiden voyage in 1628, was incredibly well preserved for this reason. 90 seconds.
Drew, are you good with blocking that?
I'm never going to ever come up with anything else. So, yes, we better.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just lock that.
All right.
Okay. Jake and Jonathan, I need an answer from you guys.
Gosh.
I think the Black Sea is probably the best we got. Is it brackish? I think it's possibly brackish. It is open to the Mediterranean through the Bosphorus and the Sea of Marmara. That's all I can really give us. I don't know much. I don't know many inland seas.
Yeah, I know Vasa is a dynasty in Sweden around this time, but I can't think of any Swedish.
I need an answer.
Sorry.
Yeah. We can say what we're going to answer and then talk about it afterwards so that it's not a time issue. So we're going to say the Black Sea.
Yep.
Now, Jake, you can say why it was you were talking. What were you saying about Vasa?
Yeah, I know Vasa is a dynasty in Sweden for, I don't know, probably a few hundred years, but I don't know any Swedish seas, but
I like what we guessed. And I said, okay, if it's an inland sea that's semi-open, I can justify the Black Sea being that because it outputs through the Sea of Marmara and the Bosphorus into the Mediterranean. It's not just a sea like the Caspian that has a river outputting from it.
Right.
So that was right. And I do believe that the black is really cold. So that's kind of why I was pushing for that. Drew and Lisa, what were y'all thinking?
We went back and forth a lot with not a lot. Yeah, to Jake's point, the Vasa Ship Museum is in Stockholm, and it's really an amazing site. You just see this giant ship that looks like it was just, built and aged, right? It doesn't even look like it's been really in water. And so just because of the Stockholm connection, we said Baltic. I do think that now that I'm thinking about it, I do think there is some narrower piece of the Baltic that maybe we should have answered instead that I wasn't going to think of. But we said Baltic because of the Vasa and the connection.
If there is a smaller and it's like one of the Gulfs, because like the Baltic touches, that's the only reason I got it. She said Sweden and I said an inland sea is the Baltic because it touches like 15 countries. It could be one of those Gulfs, like the Gulf of Britannia and the Gulf of, I think one of them is the Gulf of Finland.
Yeah.
So I was looking for the name of the sea. It does also contain the Gulf of Bothnia and the Finnish Gulf. It is enclosed by Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Germany, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Russia, Sweden, and the North and Central European Plain regions. It is the world's largest brackish water basin, and it is the Baltic Sea.
That's a good job out of y'all.
Yeah, good job, y'all.
When you said Bothnia, that's the one that was going through my head. That if it was going to be, that specifically versus Baltic. So, thank you.
As I said, Britannia, I thought that was weird, but I could have sworn that was the name. Bothnia. Okay.
Yes, in the Gulf of Bothnia, it's a little bit farther north. It's right where Finland and Sweden meet. The Baltic Sea extends past Stockholm. And I also was at the Vasa Museum back about a year ago, and it is so cool. The ship was designed by a guy who, as far as I could tell, had never seen a boat before, but he was a king. So he's like, do it the way I want. And then the engineers were like, it's going to sink. And he was like, too bad. And I think one of them died by suicide because he was like, I'm going to get killed no matter what because this thing's going to sink. And then it sank. Like, within sight of shore. It's actually a very good story about hubris, if you're into that sort of thing. And because of the way the water is, it just chilled out for like until the 1950s. They hauled it up and they put it in a room and you can go check it out. It's super cool.
That's fascinating.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to get a couple more shipwreck questions because I went on a bit of a tear with this. Starting with round 3, question 2 category is archaeology. Hot polish. was discovered on certain artifacts recovered in Nunavut, Canada, and has given archaeologists new insight into what uncommon practice, which becomes more relevant if you are the victim of a shipwreck.
What was the category again?
Archaeology.
Okay.
I know this, Lisa, if you just give me a second.
I don't want y'all to go astray, so I'm going to just say this. It's in quotes. Pot polish is in quotes because that's the term. That's the term archaeologists give to it.
Give to the uncommon practice?
Huh?
That they give to
the name pot polish is in quotes. It's specifically the name that is used for whatever this is.
Yeah. 1 minute.
All right, Erin, I think we're going to lock in. Well, we're going to lock in.
Okay. Love it. Drew and Lisa, you got to give me an answer. That's time.
I wasn't 100% familiar with I mean, I've heard the name before. I didn't make the connection based off that right away. But uncommon practice, more relevant if you're the victim of a shipwreck. I know that they have found human remains, bones, that have marks in them that they were... I don't remember. I think they were attributed either to teeth themselves having bitten on them, or cutlery, or knives or whatever. I think I've heard of that. So, Lisa, did you have anything on that?
I need an answer. Sorry, it's been time's up.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. And I mean, Lisa, if you have like we were saying last question, like if you want to add something, I need an answer. So.
Oh, no, I don't really have anything to add. We were only thinking of shipwrecks, and none of it kind of took us to the Franklin expedition, which they may or may not have suffered cannibalism or lead poisoning. So we were going through a couple different chains, but nothing really stuck out.
Okay. Jake and Jonathan, what do you guys say?
I was pushing for this one. Pot polish to me sounds like it's going to be a residue, or like the same way like a patina changes the color of bronze, right? Or brass or whatever it is. Anyway, we said drinking your own urine. You would have to hold your urine in a pot. It would probably leave something behind on it that would change the color or effect of it. Obviously, it could become something that might happen if you're in a shipwreck in none of it. So that was our answer.
One of the things I love about doing the show versus hosting live is that when I run a question live, I can't, unless I'm like creepily eavesdropping on the teams in front of me, I don't know how they get to certain answers. So when I ran this live, I also got drinking your own urine as a common wrong answer. Sorry, guys. And I couldn't quite figure out why, but that's why. That's exactly the thought process a lot of my regulars used. You guys were thinking about the wrong artifact, but you were in the right area. It has to do with keeping things in a pot. And when you boil certain things in a pot, it wears down the things. So for example, if you're boiling human bones in a pot and they rub together, the ends get polished. That's called pot polish. So this is, and I realize this is the second game I've hosted in a row where an answer has been cannibalism. So we're going to keep that train going, I think. But the answer is cannibalism.
Good job, y'all. Way better. Jake, I didn't get anywhere close, man.
No, I mean, it's right there if you think about it. I mean, you're in a shipwreck. What do you eat? Your neighbor.
So note, when Erin's hosting, if you have a gut answer of cannibalism, you might be right.
Maybe you're right.
I'd like to sign up for episode 545 if I could right now. Got 10 points right in the bag.
Love it.
Round 3, question 3 category is destinations. Still in the shipwreck vibe. One of the earliest known shipwrecks sank off the coast of Turkey in 1300 BCE, and researchers think it was probably heading for what Greek island? Its colossal reputation and sunny weather make it a popular tourist destination to today.
Yep, we're going to lock in.
Okay. Drew and Lisa?
You guys barely beat us.
We said, the clue of colossal reputation, sunny weather, and this is actually a really nice island to visit. Lots of nice sights, easy to get around. We said Rhodes.
Jake and Jonathan?
I was just going based off the word colossal. I mean, I know Rhodes is a Greek island. You have the Colossus of Rhodes. That's just, without any actual knowledge on the shipwreck, we locked in with Rhodes.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Lisa, have you been?
I have been to Rhodes, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the correct answer. You guys locked in on the clues and figured it out. The shipwreck bit was just a fun red herring to tie it into the round I did on shipwrecks. So that was it. At the midpoint, Jake and Jonathan have 60. Lisa and Drew are sitting perfect with 90. Still anyone's game. Your midpoint category is Epcot. So for the Disney adults, I didn't actually write copy for the question itself. The ride Spaceship Earth has had 5 different people do voice work for it. Like you sit in the Spaceship Earth is the ride inside the big silver ball, the geodesic dome. And you sit down, you get talked at by someone, and the narrator has changed over the years. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about each of the 5 narrators, and you're going to name the narrator for 4 juicy points each. Cool?
Yes.
Great. So, from 1982 to 1986, we had a radio, film, and TV actor who provided the control voice in The Outer Limits in the 1960s. From 1986 to 1994, we had a CBS News anchor once called the most trusted man in America. From 1994 to 2007, an English actor and activist known to many as the bad guy in a 1994 Disney movie. From 2007 to present, an English actress whose credits include Old Deuteronomy and Cats and an Oscar-worthy performance as Queen Elizabeth. The first, and finally, from 2007 to present, the voice actor behind Leonardo and Rocksteady and Matthew Broderick's singing double in The Lion King 2. Can you select to paste all those because they're in a bunch of different cells?
Yeah, Jake, I kind of need to see them all.
Yeah.
Lisa, I'm sure on the first 4. I need to take another look at the 5th.
Jonathan, you're right. I should have been more specific. He is the voice, number 5 is the voice behind Leonardo and Rocksteady in the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. I forgot there were any others because none of the others really mattered.
All right, so the very early. Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, are you looking on the 5th one? Are you looking for you're looking for the name of the voice actor?
Yes.
Not the name of, okay.
I need answers, my loves.
Burp.
Sorry.
All right, there you go. We're locked in. You guys need to finalize as well.
Okay. First 4 we had. The number 1, I just know he's the first voice. Vic Perrin is the first voice. I'm vaguely familiar with him. English actor and activist. Figured that was Lion King, Jeremy Irons. 2007 was going to be Judi Dench. And the last one we didn't know. We talked about a bunch of things. I know that Toto and Journey and The Who and some other bands did a lot of soundtrack work. I know that Toto is Joe Williams, but they're one of my favorite bands. I feel like I would know if it was them. And so I threw out Journey. The lead singer is Steve Perry. I didn't have much beyond that.
I didn't have anything for the 5th one either.
Okay. Jake and Jonathan, did you have anything for the 5th one?
Not anything good. So, yeah, we said Orson Welles for the first one. We talked about Rod Serling. Didn't know for sure if Serling did The Outer Limits, but we felt better about Welles having done radio as well. So we said Welles, we said Cronkite, we said Irons, we said Dench, and then I was trying to think of the guy who did the voice of Batman because it seems like this is going to be a true voice actor and not like a famous person. Kevin somebody, but I couldn't come up with it. So if you can't come up with the Batman, you come up with the Joker. We said Mark Hamill.
Okay. So not bad. Pretty good spread for you guys. Number 1 was Vic Perrin, which is a wild thing to know, and I respect the hell out of that. It's a good trivia chestnut. Most Trusted Man in America, Walter Cronkite. The bad guy in a 94 Disney movie is Jeremy Irons. Old Deuteronomy and Cats, that's Dame Judi Dench to you. And the person who also joined, he has his own segment as of 2007. He voiced Leonardo and Rocksteady in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shotaro Kaneda in a dub of Akira. Liquid Snake in Metal Gear. His name is Cam Clark. And he seems like a genuinely interesting human. I just learned about him today.
All right, so we got the 3 that we could possibly get, Jake.
Yep.
Yeah. I know the name. I definitely know the name. I never would have gotten that one.
Me either.
And Jonathan, Kevin Conroy.
Conroy, that's Kevin. I was like, Kevin Clark, Kevin Costner. Conroy, thank you.
Well, after the midpoints, Jake and Jonathan have 72. Lisa and Drew have 106. Still anyone's game.
You're not perfect anymore. Ha ha! Victory!
Nope.
Hey friends, it's Nick, and I have a bit of a surprise. I wrote a book, like an actual novel. Not a spreadsheet, not a quiz, a full-blown, sexy, stylish, heist-filled novel. It's called Pulling Threads, written under the pen name Isla Blake, because this really was a surprise. Here's the story. My wife reads hundreds of books a year, so for our anniversary, I thought, why not write her one? Most people get flowers. I gave her crime, lust, betrayal, the classics. I used a pen name so she'd judge it like any other book, not like it came with a bouquet and a guilt trip. Now it's out in the world, and already beloved by literally tens of people. Pulling Threads is like the Thomas Crown Affair had a love child with a bottle of scotch and a very expensive pair of shoes. There's a hot marketing strategist, a morally questionable love interest, and a plot to take down a fashion empire built on stolen designs. Also, there's spice, like real spice. Don't read it on a plane. It's available now in paperback, hardcover, and Kindle. Just search Pulling Threads by Isla Blake on Amazon. And if you like it, leave a review. And if you don't, congrats. You've joined a long line of people who disagree with me. So go check it out. And let me know if I should start a new career or stick to pretending I know things on the internet. And now, back to the show.
Round 4, question 1. Your category is landmarks. I might be pronouncing this wrong, the Deutz Suspension Bridge in Cologne, Germany, pronounced that wrong too, was completed in 1915 and in 1935 was named after which German politician who had died the previous year? I hear he was a real gas bag.
Yeah, Jake.
Meow meow!
We're locked in.
Yeah. Jonathan, if you could give one of those for me as well.
Meow meow!
I imagine for both of us, actually.
Let's 3, 2, 1.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hindenburg.
Hooray! We're starting off with points for everybody. Round 4, question 2, category is stand up for yourself. It's another kind of shipwreck question. In 1789, acting Lieutenant Fletcher Christian led disaffected crewmen in an overtaking of control of what commercial ship? The English Navy dispatched the HMS Pandora to recover the ship in question and it captured 14 of the perpetrators before running aground in the Great Barrier Reef.
Jake, we can lock in.
Okay. Drew and Lisa, y'all can talk.
Yeah, Fletcher Christian. Drew, are you good with that answer?
Yeah. Yep.
So Fletcher Christian, as portrayed multiple times on film, led the disaffected crewmen of the Bounty against Captain Bligh, who they set adrift on a ship. I don't know that Fletcher Christian led any other mutiny. That would be kind of interesting if he did.
They got to stop hiring that guy.
But we're going to say the Bounty.
Okay. Jake and Jonathan.
It is the quicker picker-upper. We said Bounty.
Yep.
Yeah, when I did this question live, my answer slide was just pictures and paper towels because it is the Bounty.
Mm.
Round 4, question 3. I should have made these harder. Your category is movies.
Maybe.
Alan Russell moves into a house with his wife and kids and purchases a haunted mirror that induces hallucinations in what 2014 thriller? It was greenlit for a Bollywood adaptation in 2015, but no word yet on a VR adaptation from Meta.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to lock in.
Okay. Drew and Lisa.
Go ahead, Lisa.
Or was it?
Yeah, I don't know. So Drew, please join in. I don't know the movie, but I know the Meta VR headset is Oculus that they bought. So that's kind of all I have to go with on this. And anything else, Drew, besides that as an answer?
Yeah, no. I was trying to think of the name, and originally said that it was Glass something. I think that's actually the name of the mirror, and it has appeared elsewhere. But yeah, the VR. I mean, it's Oculus. That's the actual movie.
Okay.
Flanagan's movie.
And Jonathan and Jake.
All you, Jake.
I wasn't too sure. I do know there's a movie called Oculus, and it's about a mirror, but I don't know if that's particular to this movie. So I asked Jonathan if he knew what Meta's VR was called, and he was fairly confident that it was Oculus. So we locked in with that.
It is Oculus. I've been playing escape rooms on mine lately. It's been pretty fun.
That's cool.
Yay. Yeah. Okay. That was a fast round.
Hey, I love a good fast round. Makes us feel good about ourselves.
Yeah, you guys cruise. I thought maybe you were going to hit a little speed bump with Oculus, but you did not. Jake and Jonathan with 102, Lisa and Drew with 136. Round 5, question 1. Category is for the gaze. What monstrous mythological trio, the children of a sea god and sea monster, were probably inspired by the squid?
All right, we're going to lock in.
Okie dokie. Lisa and Drew.
We're going back and forth between a few. Well, what has come up so far is the nymphs, and Lisa mentioned the gorgons, which I do. I know they were a trio. I like that as well.
Yeah, the only reason, well, a couple of reasons I was leaning towards gorgons for these all just being guesswork is they're kind of monstery. They have sort of squiddy like serpent hair.
They have amazing cheese.
They do. They do have good cheese.
Gorgonzola, obviously.
Yes. And I don't know if nymph was a particular set or just like, here's a nymph, there's nymphs all over in the water. So my inclination would be to go with gorgons because I know there were sisters.
I can go along with you. Gorgons.
Okay, let's lock in gorgons.
Jake and Jonathan, y'all got there a little quicker. What did you come up with?
As soon as you said For the Gaze and then Monstrous Trio, I immediately said Gorgons. The Gaze, Gaze.
Yep.
Medusa, yeah. So I think it's Medusa, Steno, and maybe the third one is Euryale or something like that. I can't fully remember all of those.
That sounds close.
It feels close too.
Yeah.
And definitely three of them. We said the Gorgons.
Hey, wordplay. It was the Gorgons. It's the gaze that gets you.
That gaze clue. I can't believe I missed that.
Totally forget about categories. Yeah.
Well, listen up because round 5, question 2 category is for the straights. The Dardanelles.
Hold on. Let's see if we want to Sherlock something here.
Okay, sorry.
Can I Sherlock the category? I got to guess too, though. No, that's not going to be it.
All right, we'll go ahead. We'll take a stab. We'll Sherlock an answer.
All right.
There's no penalty, right?
No penalty. Only thing is you can't try again later. One try is that's all you get.
We got it.
Yes, I someone.
All right, great.
All right, for the straights. The Dardanelles and the Bosporus Strait are waterways which are considered part of Turkey's internal waters, internationally significant for shipping purposes, and the dividing line between Asian and European Turkey. These straits are on either end of what sea, which is also part of Turkey.
Oh, that was my Sherlock guess.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right. We're going to lock in.
Lisa and Drew.
So that little sea piece that you see around Turkey is the Sea of Marmara. And one really cool thing, if anybody sails through the Dardanelles, is you see the monuments to the Battle of Gallipoli that are there, which are really, really interesting. And then you head in up to Istanbul. So we said Sea of Marmara.
All right. Jonathan, what did you say?
Well, I mean, when we were playing earlier and guessing the Black Sea, I specifically said water exits the Black Sea through the Bosphorus into the Sea of Marmara. So we felt really confident that this is going to be the Sea of Marmara.
You said it like 9 times. I actually have in my notes, Jonathan, stop saying Sea of Marmara for the Baltic Sea question.
You got to know if you're going to ask a question about something similar in a similar part of the world that people are going to talk about the other answers.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I realized my mistake. I kind of cobble this together. Like I pick and choose from things and I don't really pay attention. I have a couple break glass questions that I was going to use, but then it wasn't a question about straight, so the wordplay wouldn't have worked. So anything for a pun.
Oh, well.
Your answer is Sea of Marmara. You guys knew that an hour ago when Jonathan talked about it the first time. So good job, everybody.
So our Sherlock guess on Jake and I's side was a Straits of Hormuz, which was not right. Drew and Lisa, you guys also made a guess. What was that?
I just typed bearing at the last second. It wasn't
totally
it was
valid.
Just straight. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, name is straight.
Earlier, I Sherlocked in the answer X-Men because the category name was giant size such and such, and it turned out to be what ruler of a country, blah, blah, blah. I was like, God dang it.
I do love that. That's fun. Round 5, question 3 category is for everyone else. The Old French word for a small Roman coin translates to a unit, which gives us what modern English word? When it first appeared in the English lexicon, it referred to a single pip on a die, but today it has a somewhat different meaning and usually has a higher value. 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, yeah. Can't argue with that kind of logic. All right, we're going to lock in.
Great.
I don't know. I got us like 3/4 of the way there. It took me a while. I know I'd gotten that clue in crossword recently, and it took me a while, but Lisa sent a message that started out S-O and then the next word U, and Sue came to me, but I don't know what the modern meaning of that is. Unless I must have the wrong name. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't really have any better guess for what this might be. Just trying to think of old words for coins that mean something now. Nothing strong was coming to me, or weak.
Okay. So y'all locked in with Sue with no thunder. Jake and Jonathan, what did you guys lock in with?
Jake?
So we did not have a clue when we first read the question. We started by trying to name Roman coins. We started with like denarii. We both thought was something that was a Roman coin. And we're like, okay, I said a dinar is a currency in the Middle East. And then Jonathan asked if I knew any more. And I said, I don't know how to pronounce it, a ducat.
A ducat.
Yeah, something like D-U-C-A-T. And we're kind of talking through that and trying to figure out if either of those are even close. I think we suggested ace. And finally, and I don't know if it's right, but it sounds French. Ducat maybe could have changed into deuce, which has a higher value than a single pip. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, 10 points to Orange Cat. It's his first 10 of the game, so he's pretty excited about that. One of y'all did say it, and I was wondering if you were going to get there. And I apologize. The question's a little bit confusing. It's an English word that comes to us from Roman through Old French. So that's just kind of the etymology. It's a little bit weird. First appeared in the English lexicon, a single pip on a die. So one of something. We got one for the gays, one for the straights, and this was for the ace.
Oh,
it was.
Oh, yeah. So I did mention that, and I just thought of it in terms of, okay, an ace is one
or more,
but it's also the high. So that's why I said it was the work, because it could be a pip or higher, but we weren't close to using it at the moment. So
maybe with another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I saw you say it and I got excited. And then Drew, when you were like, it's a 3-letter word, I'm like, oh, they might get there.
Yeah, right.
But alas. Okay. Well, that's okay.
I think Sue is some kind of French coin. I know I had it as a clue recently. It is? Okay.
Yeah. It is in fact a coin. The dinar is the modern day currency of Iraq, and a ducat was used as a trade coin in Europe from the later Middle Ages to the 19th century. So that's money. After 5 rounds, Jake and Jonathan have 122. Lisa and Drew have 156.
I feel like a deuce was just dropped on my head after that.
Hey! Nice. This next round, I wanted to just give a general shout out to the Trivia Warfare community. I was on vacation last week and I found that I was hosting this game on like Tuesday. I think Jonathan was like, we got some heavy hitters, so make it harder than normal. I'm like, ah. So last night, I put up the bat signal and I was like, hey, does anybody have any questions that you haven't used because they're too hard for me? And I got a bunch, and these are 3 of them. So thank you to everyone who helped out, and especially these 3 folks who I will call up by name. Round 6, question 1 came to me from Sam Mitchell.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Category is your daily dose of TV. Peacock viewers and the United Nations both recognize what country. It is the only one in the United Nations to have 3 consecutive Tittles in its name.
Did I read the... Hold on. Yeah. All right. I stand by that.
So you guys are locked in?
Lisa?
Yeah, but it's a good answer.
We're locked in.
Cool.
Okay. Jake.
Yes.
I feel like Fiji is a island in Indonesia. Is it its own country?
Yes, it is its own country. It has a capital. I think Suva is the capital. I don't know the peacock angle, but Tittles are the little dots above I and J.
Is Survivor on Peacock?
Yeah.
Is Survivor NBC?
I don't know. Yes. I'm pretty sure. I'm a huge fan of Survivor. I watch it through YouTube TV recorded. Don't remember if it's NBC. It has been in Fiji for like the last 15 seasons.
Survivor and Big Bang Theory were on the same channel. I thought it was CBS.
I don't know, but Fiji does have 3 consecutive Tittles.
That it does. The only one in the UN, but it doesn't have to be in the UN. Is there anything else you can think of?
Well, like we were just saying before they locked in, it does seem like it has to have like an IJI pairing or JII or IIJ or something like that, or 2 consecutive J's, which I'm not familiar with. So I don't know. Survivor is in Fiji. I don't know if it's on. I think it is on Peacock. I don't have Peacock because I don't. It's just one of the ones I don't subscribe to. You don't think Fiji's the answer?
No, it's the best answer we have. I'm still trying. If it was clearly a show that I knew was on NBC, then I'd say let's do it. But because it's not clear, I'm still thinking.
Right.
It's time.
All right. We're going to say Fiji.
Okay. Drew and Lisa, what'd you guys lock in with?
Well, I got to it basically the same way. I figured that we were probably looking at an IJI, and it took me a second, but Fiji came. Just if you were to look at my Paramount Plus homepage, you would think that I am a huge fan of Survivor because that's always a lot of my recommended list. Despite the fact that I've never watched a single episode of Survivor or any other reality competition show. So
they're pushing it on you.
Yeah.
So that tells me that you were right, Jonathan. I think Survivor must have been on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
But we couldn't figure out the TV show. I think we kind of came to it at the same moment that it might be one of the Love Island things. But we just got it from the Tittles. So Fiji.
We did it all for the Tittles.
So yes, the tittle is the dot over the I. A jot is the cross in a T or an F. And
all I can say is we just finished tittling the ivories, so
y'all are correct in that Survivor is a CBS property. They have filmed a lot of seasons in this country, but most relevant to this current time of June and July 2025, it's your daily dose of TV, because this is a TV show that's on every freaking day. It is Love Island, which is set in the beautiful country of Fiji.
Oh,
great. I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, me too. I was worried you're going to talk yourselves out of it.
Erin, you're addicted to Love Island, aren't you?
I'm sorry, Love Island is on every day, as in they air a new episode every single day?
Every day except Hump Day. There's no episodes on Wednesdays, and they do like a talk show recap on Fridays or Saturdays. Sure, yeah. But yes, there's an episode it's over now. It ended, I think, a week and a half ago. I have not watched the finale yet, but I will by the time this goes live.
It's a Big Brother style.
Yeah, which is remarkable that there genuinely is enough content to fill an episode every day, as opposed to like I'm also watching Too Hot to Handle, which needs way more content to fill an hour every week. Anyway, I love trashy TV. You know who else may love trashy TV? It's Paul McLaughlin, who wrote the next question for us.
Thank you, Paul.
Round 6, question 2, category is sports.
Sports.
With wins in both the 83rd Grey Cup and Super Bowl 35, linebacker O.J. Brigance, Brigance, is the only football player in history to ever win a Grey Cup and a Super Bowl with teams based out of the same city. What city did his teams represent? 90 seconds.
Okay, we're locked in.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Jake, the sixth, I agree, first Super Bowl's in 67, but was that the 66 season, 67 Super Bowl, which would point you to the 2001 season, 2002 Super Bowl, which is Tampa Bay, I think, based on recent questions we've had.
Right.
Or the Rams, but these don't feel right for Grey Cups.
Right, and that's what I was trying to figure out, because if they're both based out of the same city, and I'm not aware of the CFL having any teams based in the United States, but
they must, because we know the NFL doesn't have a Canadian team.
Right. And so, I mean, just based off what we have been saying, we've been talking about Tampa, Baltimore, and New England, and New
And
England.
St. Louis there at the end.
Yeah, right. Were they 99? They were in.
They
01,
won two,
I think.
like 99 and 2001 or 2 or something.
I think they
30
won
seconds.
in 99. It doesn't matter. Geographically, Boston is the closest, but that doesn't mean the CFL doesn't have teams elsewhere. But I don't know.
Something's actually pulling me to that St. Louis team.
I thought St. Louis played their second because they beat the Titans in like 99. I thought they lost to the Patriots in 01.
They won 2. They won once with Vermeil and once with Mike Martz.
I'd like an answer, please.
Shoot. St. Louis or Boston? You want to go Boston?
Geographically, that's where it leads me. But if you feel strong about St. Louis, go for it.
I don't. We'll say Boston.
Okay. Drew, you had this pretty quick. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Briggins, I know, played for the Ravens championship team.
God!
I'm a Commanders fan, but I rooted for it's a very famous Super Bowl in my memory, and so I was at a ski resort in Vermont, and I just remember really liking Briggins, and I know they had a Grey Cup team. I don't remember the name, but it was a connection with the previous team, the Colts. So it's a horse-related name. I can't remember it, but Baltimore is the city.
It was the Baltimore Stallions. They were a team. Yeah, they were a team from 1994 to 1995. That's it. But in one of those years, they won the Grey Cup, and they actually got a pretty cool logo. It was Baltimore. Round 6, question 3 comes to us from Will Dennison. I have to sneeze.
1, 2, 3. Only 3. Not very fulfilling, honestly.
No, it is not. There's more. They're in there.
There's more in there. I know.
They're stuck. Yep. Ooh, all right. This comes to us from Will Dennison. Thank you, Will. And your category is Poetic Justice. Of the 4 great epic poems, that is, the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Aeneid, and the Divine Comedy, who is the only character to appear in all of them? Now, I grant you that he does not appear under the same name in all 4. The first 2 use his Greek name, and the second 2 use his Latin name. Either name will get you credit, and I will give you 2 bonus points if you can name both versions. Jimmy can name all the versions. Yep. 90 seconds.
Yeah, Jake, let's luck in.
Oh.
You guys can talk.
I threw out Odysseus first because that's just a decent starting point, but figured he can't be in the Aeneid, so both of us were just thinking. Lisa, you threw out Inferno.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember if there's a relationship between Divine Comedy and Inferno, if it's a part of it. I don't remember.
It is. It's called his Inferno. So
okay.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then I threw out Hades and Pluto being a tie-in to Inferno, and I'm assuming shows up somewhere potentially as a character. Have not read these, but I believe it's, much later. So it would have to be something with that kind of relationship rather than some of the human characters themselves. So that's kind of where we went.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're saying Hades, and Pluto is the Roman version. I think I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Jake and Jonathan.
So we bounced around a bit here. Jake, you started with Ulysses and Odysseus, and he is the one person who we know we can do a Roman and a Greek name for, or a Latin and Greek name for. We talked about Virgil because he appears in the Divine Comedy and he wrote the Aeneid. We ended up giving up on the idea of getting both the bonus and the regular and decided to go with Aeneas. Aeneas was in the Iliad. He was kind of a minor character there. I might be crazy. He might be the person who shot Achilles through the heel, but I know that he was trying to escape Troy in the Iliad, and he was the star of the Aeneid, so it's kind of like a spin-off or a sequel in a way.
Isn't the Aeneid about like the foundation of Rome?
Yes.
So It would make sense. If there's that crossover, it makes sense that he's got a Greek and a Latin name.
Yeah. So we don't know exactly how he might appear and everything, but we did guess Aeneas.
All right. 10 more points to Orange Cat.
Damn it.
the word appear was doing a lot of heavy lifting in this question. So he was one of the heroes in the Achaean side of the Iliad. He was the main protagonist in the Odyssey. He was referenced in the Aeneid, where he is credited with devising the Trojan horse. In the Divine Comedy, he resides in the eighth circle of Dante's Inferno for his deceit. Your answer is Odysseus and or Ulysses.
The first thing you said, dude.
The obvious answer.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so very bad at ordering these in a way that, because I don't know what's difficult, because I don't know anything about trivia, right? So like I just kind of guess, and I guess wrong. Sorry. One of you said this is really late in the game for it to be that obvious, and you're right. Sorry, that's on me.
Anyway. I mean, I don't think an obvious answer is necessarily an easy one.
No, yeah, I think this is perfectly placed.
I always try to go past the easy answer when you're hosting anyway, so I don't think that.
I think this appears in just the right place. It's a very hard question.
Well, thank you. Also a bit of a DTQ. Okay. Well, after all of that, Jake and Jonathan have 132. Lisa and Drew have 176. Orange Cat has 20. Your category for the gauntlet is Epcot again. Place your bets.
You said 176 to 132?
I think so.
Okay. All right. We're locked in.
All right.
We're almost locked in.
Yeah, we are. I'm just double checking my math. Yeah, okay. We're locked.
Hooray. Gauntlet, Epcot. Question number 1. Located between France and Japan, what is the only country pavilion whose design was overseen by its country's actual government? Featuring a minaret, olive and date palm trees, and Mediterranean cuisine, the pavilion also includes mosaics designed and created by artists sent by King Hassan II.
Okay, we're going to lock in.
We're locked in.
Round gauntlet, question 2. Designed by Buckminster Fuller, who also worked on Spaceship Earth. The geodesic dome in what city housed the United States Pavilion at Expo 67? Located on St. Helens Island, today it houses a museum about the local climate and environment. This is my first language.
How specific do you want our answer to be, Erin?
I would like the name of the city.
We're going to lock in.
Okie dokie. Lisa and Drew, you can talk it out.
I was originally thinking Fuller and New York City because I think that's where he proposed to like build the Dome of the Future or whatever. But Lisa then, I'm grateful, tried to correct me. Now I think I remember it is a Canadian city.
Yeah, the reason I asked you that, because I did think that the New York World's Fair was not in 67. I don't have super strong thunder on that, but the first city that popped into my head for some reason was Montreal.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel a little bit more comfortable with Montreal. I don't see the World's Fair in New York.
I think it was early. I think it was earlier in the 60s.
I think it was earlier. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so too.
Okay, let's lock in Montreal if you're good with that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And number 3, last question of the game. Meanwhile, in the France Pavilion, a 4D ride experience based on what film was copied directly from Disneyland Paris in 2023? There is no word on whether the seats pull your hair or not.
We're going to lock in.
Okay.
We were there. I was just typing it in because originally I just said, well, I brought up Rapunzel because of hair, but I was pretty sure it was Ratatouille. But I just said rat in the chat. I don't think that gets us there. So in the end...
A lot of creative spellings is all I was going to say.
I think Drew typed in Ratatouille, but just saying rat, I knew what movie you were talking about and could easily agree with that answer.
Okay, so Ratatouille.
All right. We're going to go back to the top. What pavilion was the only one whose design was overseen by its country's government? Lisa and Drew, what did y'all say?
We said Morocco, and Lisa, I got to ask you, did you start typing that in the middle of the question?
Pretty much, yeah, I did.
It was instant, and it was there. Yeah. So anyways, Morocco.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jake and Jonathan inadvertently came up with a fantastic band name and also an answer.
Yeah. So my ex-girlfriend was a Disney nut. So from like 2021 to 2023, I was at Disney properties more times in that 2-year period than I was in my entire life before that. Not always willingly, but we definitely went around the countries more than once. and Morocco has a great version of a Middle Eastern margarita. I got really worried because I remember it being kind of to the left of center, but Japan and France are to the right of center, but it still feels like it has to be Morocco. So that's what we said.
Okay. And you also use the phrase possible Morocco, which, again, great. I thought it was funny. All right. Buckminster Fuller built a thing. In what city did he build the thing in? Jake and Jonathan.
So I associate Expo 67 with Montreal. I don't know anything about Disney, this, that, or whatever, but Montreal, I'm pretty sure, is in the middle of the St. Lawrence River, which would explain why it's on an island, St. Helens Island. So we said Montreal.
All right. And Lisa and Drew.
Yeah, we started, kind of thinking what our first responses were. We went through New York as a, famous site for a World's Fair, but nothing about the Geodesic Dome or St. Helens Island being in New York kind of rang a bell with me. And then as we were talking, we thought maybe the World's Fair in New York was a little earlier. I remembered seeing pictures as a kid from my grandparents, those old black and white little photos with the white borders of their trip to a World's Fair. And for some reason, Montreal stuck in my mind. Also Montreal has islands. And so we locked in with Montreal.
Okay.
You couldn't go to Quebec City or something like that? Come on.
And Drew brought up, I think, Buckminster Fuller might be Canadian, or there's some kind of Canadian association.
Yeah, Drew just desperately wanted Manhattan to be a correct answer for something in this game. And number 3, what ride was taken in its entirety from Disneyland Paris and plopped down in Epcot in 2023? Jake and Jonathan?
I rode this within a month of it opening. It's Ratatouille.
And Drew and Lisa.
Shout out to my cousin Jennifer, who is some kind of director at Disneyland Paris. We said Ratatouille.
All right. Actually, Jonathan said ratatouille first, which I think is a beautiful word.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of creative spellings. Okay. Well, you guys all agreed on all the answers. Let's find out what that means for the scores between France and Japan. The only country whose government was involved was the country of Morocco, possible Morocco, actual Morocco. The New York World's Fair happened in 1964, but in 1967, the World's Fair was held in Montreal, Canada.
They did, and finally, for what it's worth, with Epcot, Walt Disney did use the New York Fair to test out a lot of ideas, things like the Webway People Mover and some other things that are in Epcot were first done in New York at that World Fair.
So I wrote this round a couple of years ago when I was delayed coming back, actually from Rachel and Kent's wedding. I got stuck in the Charlotte airport for like 6 hours because my flight was going to leave at 6 and then it left at 2 a.m., which is fantastic. And I was super loopy. And for some reason, I decided I was going to write a whole ass round on Epcot. So I read all about Epcot. And it's actually very interesting if you're a dork like me. So, yeah.
There's some behind the scenes stuff on Disney Plus that's actually really cool if you're interested.
I should dig around Disney Plus. I should also tell you what the answer to the third question is, although you guys all probably know. No idea if it pulls your hair or not. That would be the Ratatouille ride.
I don't understand the pulls your hair reference.
Because Remy pulls the hat, pulling the hair.
Oh, I never saw the movie. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he stands, so he's under his toque, his chef's hat, and he's pulling his hair to like direct him this way and grab this.
It seems like a very effective method of communication.
Yes. You can suspend disbelief everywhere else, but there. I get it.
I don't suspend my belief almost anywhere. You're talking to the wrong guy.
It's a rat teaching how to cook. All right. Yeah, it was Ratatouille, which means you guys all got all of the answers right, which has been a theme for this game. So it comes down to wagers. Again, the scores are 132 to 176. I'm really bad at building suspense. Lisa and Drew, do you want to just go ahead and tell us what you wagered?
I've played with Jonathan quite a bit. Jonathan has a tick when he's behind. I don't know if you've outgrown it or how often you deploy otherwise, but we thought about betting to cover 88 because that's what you would have bet to cover us getting it wrong on a lockout bet. So our choices were between 89 and 45, I think it was. And we decided to go for the lockout. We bet 89. Yep, 89.
All right.
Sorry.
So, Jake.
Well, Jim.
That means that we wagered correctly.
Mm-hmm.
There was absolutely nothing we could do if they got it right. But we were hoping that you wouldn't. We wagered 0.
Oh, wow. Lisa
If you
brought
missed
that up
it,
as a
if you
possibility.
missed it, you were out, buddy.
I was going
That's
to
a
say
really good bet against me. Yeah, that's good.
make them earn it, but Drew felt confident, I felt confident, so we went for it.
You guys played a great game. You all played a great game. Not reflected in the scores, as is often the way it goes. But at the end of the game, the final score is Jake and Jonathan with 132, which is no joke. But Lisa and Drew are your winners today with a commanding 265 juicy points.
Nice. Yay. Really, really strong game. And Erin, like she said, she was warmed. God, my brain and my mouth and my hands are all disconnected nowadays. Mm-hmm. She was warned that in terms of scoring, of self-rating, that I am the low man on the totem pole in this group of 4. And so she intentionally ramped up her questions a little bit. So these were a little bit harder than your average question. And it was still a fantastic game. So great job by everybody. Y'all came through in a big way.
Yeah. Yay.
And now, before we go, we do like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. Our big winners today are Drew and Lisa. So, Drew, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Erin. That was a great game.
Thank you.
Couple of those were the toughest questions I think I've had on this show. So, really good. I'd like to mention 2 charities. A lot of charities are in kind of less stable position than they were 6 months ago. There are also a lot of issues that have come to the forefront where there are a lot of charities that are doing a lot of good work. So I would recommend 2 at this time. One is the PCRF, the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. If anybody has read on what is currently going on in Gaza and has been going on, you would know that aid is desperately needed if it's not coming in from elsewhere. So I would recommend that. And also the National Immigration Law Center. They do a bunch of stuff. They help with asylum cases, but mainly legal defense and bail money for those detained. I would encourage you to, donate to those, or, please donate what you can to charity. They need it right now. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Drew. Lisa, your turn.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all the local, state, and federal govies who are out there. You are doing the people's work. Check in on folks. They're going through some stuff right now.
Absolutely. I think all of us know and are friends with somebody who works for the federal government. So that's a good call out. And Jake, we're going to finish up with you.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you all for having me on first. And I'd also like to thank my wife and all the support she gives me with everything I do trivia related. And then I guess for a cause, support your local library. Even if you don't like books, there's still a ton of different programs and things that most people can find useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really great for young kids who might be in disadvantaged situations.
Yes.
That's a good call out. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap us up. So for Jake, for Drew, for Lisa, and for Erin, my name's Jonathan, and this has been episode number 544 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See y'all.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.